Welcome to Trading Lounge and the SP 500. We'll also be looking at some other markets as well. For here, we're counting from this low here as wave 1 and 2 here, and wave 3 and 4 here, and we're counting this section here as wave 5 here. It does appear that we could count this all here as wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then all of this as wave 3, 4, and 5 in this space here, but I can get a 1 and 2 in here, so I've counted that as 1 and 2 in here and 3 and 4 in here, which is probably wrong really now, because this has moved up quite nicely here and is looking more like a third wave rather than a fifth wave here. So I will take that on board here, and we'll play, we'll be mindful of that and how we can approach that. But we'll stay with what we've got for the time being, and just on the outs here, I've got this up here as 1 and 2 here, and then counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for the third wave. And then we had that fourth wave in here, which was a bit of a triangle pattern here. Now this would count differently on the cash market, because the cash market didn't have this triangle in here because of the off hours with the futures market here, because this is a CFD here that incorporates the futures in the cash off market price. So it can be a little bit tricky. I mean, we can do the cash, and I do look at that now and again, but this is the one that we actually trade, or the futures market, so depending on what country that you're in and so on. But anyway, apart from that, we'd been looking at this as wave 5, from 4 to 5 moving up through here. And once again, this looks like, even in this one here, this looks like wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then wave 3 moving up in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the top of wave 3. So we may end up even going further up here, but my target is the 3050 at this stage. And the count behind that, if I can just go to the tick chart, pick it up at here, so I've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So this could be counted differently now that this is really pushed on up through here, but we'll stay where we are, and we'll also be mindful of that other move. So on the 20 tick chart the other day, we counted wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then 5 waves up for wave 3 here, and then wave 4 here, and then we're looking for wave 5 to move up. So I just got to adjust that, sorry about that. So in this little section here, if we open this up here, we can count this as 1 here and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here for 1 and 2 here, and then the third wave up here, and then I was looking for an A and a B and a C. This has come down nicely here, so this is also roughly the 38.2% retracement level from this little level here roughly to here, so we're sort of on the right track here with this, and I could see that this was an A and a B and a C for the A wave here, a B wave in here, and a C wave up here, and also 5 waves down here. So yeah, even though it looks bearish, it's not finished yet, and if you wanted to go long again, you can go long above that little high here, or back on support here, if you want the safe trade. Otherwise you need to count 5 waves down here, and I can see parts of it, but it obviously doesn't feel like it's complete yet. So it looks like down for 1 here, back for 2 here, still got further to go down here, so obviously it will take out this, take out all the stops that are sitting under that previous low there in that case. Once it's done its job in that regard, then it'll move up from that point. But the safe trade will be back on 40 here, and then up into the 3050 area here. Also, just go back to the hourly. What have we done with our trades? So yeah, we just want to keep this, our targets, we've got these 3 trades on. I've brought the stop up just under this low here. We should be pretty safe. I'm expecting this move to come down to this previous little low here, but I can see that it can come down further. We don't particularly want to be stopped out here, so just adjust that accordingly, and we'll look to trade up to the 50 there. If you wanted to trade long again, we'll just grab that and stick that on top of that hourly bar there. And we're moving into Wednesday and Thursday in a couple of next, following, not the next session, but the following session. So that's when we start having our swing days there. So we can look at Wednesday being down and then up for the day, and Thursday being bearish. So just be mindful of that. And Friday being bullish again. So if Friday's not bullish, then we know we've got a change in trend at that stage. And let's just have a quick look at the Nasdaq while we're here as well. It's on the same, it's got kind of a nice account, the Nasdaq. So from wave 4 here, we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and wave 3 here, and ABC for wave 4 here. And then moving up here, and I haven't adjusted this here, so we can look for that there. That will be wave 4 there. Let's get rid of that. So we can expect wave 4 in this case maybe to even come back down to this wave 4, because I'm looking at this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here. This didn't pull down to the 61.8%. I don't really focus on this a lot, but as you know, just this is a 1 hour chart, and we can remove this for a second. We still got another wave up. That's what what I'm looking at here. Can come down lower. I'll leave you to that one there anyway, but just to finish that 5th wave off there. This one's got a nicer structure overall here. So that means that once those 5 waves up there are finished, then we'd be looking for something like this here. So coming back and bouncing off the 8,000 and then moving up from that point there. So we'll have to navigate that. Yeah, it is a nice count here for this. That can come over here. So this is just a classic trading levels pattern across the 8,000 here, by the by. So anyway, I'll put a bit more work into that now that we're looking for a turn, but there does appear to be one more move to the upside there. The other point too, when this does turn down here, when it does turn down on both of those markets, we've been looking at US spot gold, and we've been looking at, in this case here, so wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 4. So we know that this is corrective here. We also know wave 4s can get pretty damn ugly as well, so I may have to pull it over here, but as it stands we can look at this as 1 and back for 2 here, and then up for 1 and back for 2. So we're going to go long on this one here. We haven't been breached on this, we've just been bringing it down and down and down and to there and down to there here now, so we'll just leave it there. So if stocks do turn, then that will help that. I'll just have a look at our Apple trade at the moment as well. So I do expect more upside with this, and we're going to exit at 250 here, because that's a medium level in regards to the trading levels, and we could look for a 38 point, which is quite low here, this 30. I mean, I have to do a little bit of work on this too. It can still go higher here as well, but we can expect some fluctuation across here. I will do some work on this, so it probably end up higher here, but we're just going to save ourselves some energy and time here. So we'll just take it at the next level here, and we'll wait for the correction, but it could certainly pull back into this space and then move higher through here and all of that. I'm not worried about, I don't want to get involved in the early stages of the fluctuations across the 250 here, and but if I see a setup here, then we'll continue to move long from that point there. Also too, we need to check on Amazon because it fell out of bed on earnings. here. So what we were looking for support on 1800 here as a classic trading levels pattern, which, you know, if I could just draw it here, which would have been up here as the arrival, back here, first high above the level, and then a little corrective move here, and then up from here. So it has dropped back down to its 50-60% retracement level, and now we just have to wait for the same thing again. So yeah, I mean, technically it could pull back down to the 1580, 1600 area here, but the medium level here, we've got two medium levels here, the 1500 and the 1650 here. I won't go into that, but these things are on our website. So if I was looking at a stock, this would be $15 and $16.50 as such, but it is a medium level and it plays a strong part, and the 1800 is a minor level before we can go long, and that saved us too. You know, we could have gone long before that, but because we were patient and we were waiting for our setup, it saved us. And now we can look for the next setup over here, and you know, we could have gone long here and all these sort of things, but woulda, coulda, shoulda, but we'll just do the same thing again. We'll wait for an impulse wave to come to the upside, and if we get an impulse up through here, then we'll get a corrective pattern, and then we can move back in. I mean, there's plenty of other stocks and markets with setups. You don't have to just stay focused on one market. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.
Report unless it's done.
Really?
Just holding up some floats.